Impact of China's carrier group on maritime security growth in ASEAN by 2027. Introduction. The regional maritime security industry in Southeast Asia is on the cusp of significant transformation, projected to grow by 30% by 2027. This growth is largely driven by geopolitical tensions and the increasing assertiveness of China, particularly through its naval modernization and expansion efforts, including the deployment of aircraft carrier groups. The influence of China's maritime capabilities has profound implications for naval defense contracts and military strategies among ASEAN member states, shaping their responses to perceived threats in the South China Sea and beyond. 1. China's naval expansion and its implications. The modernization of China's navy has been a defining feature of its military strategy over the past decade. The construction and deployment of aircraft carriers signify a shift in naval power dynamics in the region. This expansion is not merely a matter of military might, it is intertwined with China's broader geopolitical ambitions, aiming to assert its dominance in the South China Sea, a region rich in resources and critical maritime routes. The presence of China's carrier group acts as a catalyst, prompting neighboring countries to reassess their own naval capabilities. Nations such as Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia are responding by investing in their maritime security infrastructure, which includes procuring advanced naval technologies and enhancing their naval fleets. This arms buildup is not solely about countering China's influence but also involves a broader strategy of ensuring national sovereignty and securing maritime interests. 2. Increasing defense contracts in ASEAN. In light of growing tensions and the need for enhanced naval capabilities, ASEAN member states are actively engaging in new defense contracts. These contracts range from acquiring advanced naval vessels to investing in surveillance systems and missile defense technologies. Notably, many countries are forging partnerships with Western defense contractors, which not only provides access to advanced military hardware but also strengthens diplomatic ties. For instance, the Philippines has sought to bolster its defense posture through military agreements with the United States, including the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement (EDCA), which facilitates increased military presence and joint exercises. Similarly, Vietnam has embarked on a modernization program that includes purchasing submarines and advanced patrol vessels from Russia and other nations. Such moves underscore the urgency with which ASEAN states are addressing their maritime security needs. 3. Responses from ASEAN member states. The responses from ASEAN countries vary, reflecting their unique security concerns and geopolitical contexts. Vietnam, for example, has prioritized the modernization of its naval capabilities, seeking to deter Chinese aggression in the South China Sea. The Philippines, on the other hand, has focused on strengthening alliances with external powers, particularly the United States, as a counterbalance to China's influence. Indonesia, the largest country in Southeast Asia, has also recognized the need to enhance its maritime security. The Indonesian Navy is pursuing modernization efforts that include the acquisition of new frigates and submarines, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding its extensive maritime territory. These varied approaches illustrate a broader trend among ASEAN nations to bolster their maritime security in response to perceived threats from China. 4. Regional cooperation and multilateral security initiatives. As the maritime security landscape evolves, there is a growing emphasis on regional cooperation among ASEAN nations. Recognizing the limitations of individual efforts, member states are increasingly seeking multilateral security arrangements to pool resources and share intelligence. Initiatives such as joint naval exercises, maritime patrols, and information sharing agreements are becoming more common, reflecting a collective response to the challenges posed by China's maritime ambitions. For instance, the ASEAN Defense Ministers Meeting (ADMM) has facilitated dialogue and cooperation on defense and security issues, allowing member states to address shared concerns. Additionally, regional frameworks such as the ASEAN Regional Forum (ARF) and the East Asia Summit provide platforms for discussing maritime security challenges and fostering collaboration among nations. 5. Economic implications of increased defense spending. While the focus is often on the military implications of increased defense spending, it is essential to consider the economic dimensions as well. Investment in the maritime security industry can stimulate local economies, create jobs, and foster technological advancements. The defense sector often involves high-tech industries which can lead to innovation and growth in associated fields. Moreover, with the projected 30% growth in the maritime security industry, local defense companies may benefit from increased contracts and partnerships, contributing to the overall economic landscape of Southeast Asia. Balancing military preparedness with economic growth will be crucial for ASEAN states as they navigate the complexities of regional security. 6. Divergent perspectives on security strategies. Within the ASEAN community, there are varying opinions on the most effective security strategies. While some member states advocate for stronger alliances with Western powers to counterbalance China's influence, others emphasize the importance of regional self-reliance and cooperation. This divergence reflects differing historical experiences, security perceptions, and national interests. For example, countries like Singapore may prioritize maintaining a strong defense posture through strategic partnerships, while nations like Malaysia may advocate for a more independent approach to security. This plurality of perspectives complicates collective action but also highlights the necessity for dialogue and compromise among ASEAN members. Conclusion. The projected 30% growth in the regional maritime security industry by 2027 signifies a critical juncture for ASEAN member states as they respond to the challenges posed by China's naval expansion. Driven by geopolitical tensions and the desire to enhance national security, countries in the region are increasingly engaging in defense contracts, modernizing their naval capabilities, and pursuing multilateral security initiatives. As the dynamics of maritime security continue to evolve, the interplay between local responses and global maritime challenges will shape the future of the region. The influence of China's carrier group serves as both a catalyst for change and a reminder of the complexities inherent in regional security. Navigating these challenges will require ASEAN nations to balance military preparedness, economic development, and diplomatic engagement in a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. The projected 30% growth in the regional maritime security industry by 2027 is influenced by the dynamics of China's naval expansion and its implications for ASEAN member states. Here are some counterintuitive aspects related to this topic. 1. Defense spending as an economic stimulus. While it is commonly believed that increased military spending detracts from social spending and development, the rise in defense contracts within ASEAN nations may actually stimulate local economies. This paradox suggests that the maritime security industry's growth could create jobs, foster technological advancements, and enhance industrial capabilities in the region, contributing to overall economic development rather than simply diverting funds from social programs. 2. Strengthening of regional alliances. It might be expected that the rise of a dominant power like China would lead to increased isolationism among neighboring countries. However, the opposite is occurring. ASEAN member states are more inclined to strengthen regional alliances and multilateral security arrangements as a direct response to perceived threats from China. This reflects a strategic shift towards collective defense rather than unilateral action, which can enhance regional stability and cooperation. 3. Diverse approaches to security. While one might assume that all ASEAN countries would uniformly pursue Western alliances as a counterbalance to China, there is a notable diversity in approaches. Some nations are opting for stronger self-reliance and regional collaboration instead of leaning heavily on Western powers. This indicates a nuanced understanding of security that embraces both independence and interdependence, countering the narrative that a single strategy will dominate the regional response. 4. China as a catalyst for technological advancement. It is often thought that China's military advancements would create a security vacuum that would lead to stagnation in regional military capabilities. Instead, the recognition of China's growing influence is driving ASEAN countries to enhance their own naval technologies and capabilities, thus fostering innovation and modernization in military sectors that may not have progressed as rapidly without this external pressure. 5. Geopolitical tensions fueling cooperative security. While geopolitical tensions typically breed conflict, they can also lead to unexpected forms of cooperation. The maritime disputes instigated by China's assertiveness have prompted ASEAN states to engage in joint exercises and intelligence sharing, which are crucial for building trust and collaborative security frameworks. This cooperative approach challenges the assumption that increased tensions always lead to heightened hostility. 6. Varied perspectives on military partnerships. The assumption might be that all ASEAN countries seek to form strong military partnerships with Western nations. However, some countries are exploring options that involve a mix of partnerships, including engaging with China for economic reasons while balancing military engagements with Western allies. This complexity reflects a pragmatic approach to national security that does not fit neatly into binary categories of alignment. These counterintuitive perspectives highlight the complexity and dynamism of the regional maritime security landscape, suggesting that the interplay of local and global factors creates a multifaceted environment that shapes the growth and strategies of the maritime security industry in Southeast Asia. The report discussing the projected 30% growth in the regional maritime security industry by 2027 highlights several key factors and implications that are essential to grasp, particularly the influence of China's carrier group on naval defense contracts within ASEAN member states. Though the report covers various aspects, some significant content is easy to overlook, yet they play a substantial role in understanding the broader context. Here are the important elements. 1. China's naval strategy and its regional implications. The modernization and expansion of China's navy, particularly its aircraft carrier capabilities, is a crucial aspect that deserves deeper analysis. While many reports focus on the military implications, it's essential to consider how these advancements are reshaping regional power dynamics. China's assertive posture in the South China Sea has not only increased tensions but has also served as a catalyst for ASEAN countries to reconsider and recalibrate their defense strategies. Significance. This aspect is significant because it highlights the proactive measures ASEAN nations are compelled to take, not merely as a reaction to threats but as a strategic enhancement of their national security. The ability of these nations to adapt and modernize in response to external pressures can redefine alliances and geopolitical balances in the region. 2. Defense procurement trends among ASEAN states. The report indicates an uptick in defense contracts among ASEAN countries, particularly in light of China's naval advancements. However, the nuances of these procurement trends are often glossed over. For instance, the partnerships with Western defense contractors highlight a shift towards diversifying defense supply chains that were previously more reliant on any single source. Significance. This diversification is crucial as it reflects a strategic shift towards enhancing national security through varied sources, reducing dependency on any single nation, including China. Such a trend can also lead to increased competition among defense suppliers, ultimately benefiting ASEAN countries through better technology and pricing. 3. Regional cooperation and multilateral security arrangements. The report notes the growing emphasis on multilateral security arrangements among ASEAN nations. While this is a critical point, the underlying motivations and potential challenges of such collaborations are often overlooked. For example, the differing strategic priorities and levels of military capability among ASEAN states can lead to complications in forming cohesive security partnerships. Significance. Understanding the dynamics of regional cooperation is significant because it could determine the effectiveness of collective security measures. If ASEAN countries can navigate their differences and work collaboratively, they may not only enhance their defense capabilities but also foster a sense of unity and shared purpose in the face of external threats. 4. Economic implications of increased defense spending. The report touches on the economic aspects of increased defense spending, but the implications of this trend are often understated. Countries like Vietnam and the Philippines are investing heavily in their naval capabilities, which may stimulate local economies and create jobs in the defense sector. But this growth can also lead to potential economic strains if not managed properly. Significance: the economic implications are significant as they can influence domestic stability and public support for defense initiatives. If defense spending leads to job creation and industrial growth, it may result in broader societal support for military modernization. Conversely, if such spending is perceived as excessive or mismanaged, it could lead to political backlash and societal unrest. 5. Diverse strategic responses within ASEAN. While the report outlines responses from countries like Vietnam and the Philippines, it fails to address the varying strategies employed by different ASEAN member states. For instance, while some nations may lean towards stronger alliances with Western powers, others might adopt a more neutral stance or seek to balance relations with both China and the West. Significance: this diversity in strategic response is significant because it reflects the complexity of the regional security landscape. A unified ASEAN response may be ideal, but the reality is that individual nations will prioritize their unique security needs and economic interests. Understanding these varied approaches is crucial for grasping the future trajectories of regional security and cooperation. 6. Long-term strategic planning versus short-term reactions. The report emphasizes immediate responses to perceived threats from China, but it is equally important to consider the long-term strategic planning by ASEAN states. The focus on short-term military enhancements may overshadow essential discussions about sustainable defense strategies that incorporate diplomacy, economic cooperation, and non-military measures. Significance: recognizing the need for a balanced approach that includes long-term strategic planning is critical for ASEAN countries. Sustainable security strategies that incorporate economic, political, and military dimensions will likely yield more profound and lasting stability in the region than purely reactive military enhancements. Conclusion: the projected growth in the maritime security industry by 2027 signifies a transformative moment in Southeast Asia's security landscape, primarily influenced by China's naval expansion. However, this report underscores several key points, such as the implications of defense procurement trends, the dynamics of regional cooperation, and the economic aspects of increased defense spending, that are often overlooked. These elements are not merely ancillary. They form the backbone of understanding the shifts in regional power dynamics and the strategic calculations of ASEAN member states as they navigate the increasingly complex maritime security environment. Recognizing these nuances is vital for policymakers, analysts, and stakeholders engaged in regional security affairs. 1. China's naval expansion and regional security dynamics. The modernization of China's navy, particularly its deployment of aircraft carriers, represents a pivotal shift in maritime power dynamics within Southeast Asia. This expansion not only heightens competition for control over strategic waterways, particularly in the South China Sea, but also serves as a direct catalyst for ASEAN nations to re-evaluate and bolster their naval capabilities. The necessity for a robust response to China's military assertiveness is leading to a regional arms race, significantly impacting defense strategies and procurement processes among Southeast Asian states. 2. Impact on defense contracts and economic implications. The projected growth of 30% in the maritime security industry by 2027 underscores a surge in defense spending among ASEAN member states. This increase in defense contracts, particularly for advanced naval technologies, indicates a shift toward more sophisticated military capabilities. Furthermore, the economic ramifications of this growth are noteworthy, as defense spending not only fortifies military readiness but also stimulates local economies and job creation in the defense sector. The balance between military preparedness and economic growth is a critical area for analysis, highlighting the multifaceted impact of regional security policies. 3. ASEAN member state strategic responses. Countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia are at the forefront of enhancing their naval capabilities in response to perceived threats from China. Vietnam's modernization of its fleet and the Philippines' strengthening of defense ties with the United States reflect a broader trend among ASEAN nations to seek external partnerships for security. This analysis could delve into the varying strategies adopted by these countries, the implications for regional stability, and how these actions influence intra-ASEAN relations and collective security frameworks. 4. Emergence of regional cooperation and multilateral security arrangements. The growing emphasis on multilateral security initiatives among ASEAN nations is a significant development in the context of countering China's maritime ambitions. Joint naval exercises and intelligence sharing agreements illustrate a proactive approach to collective security. The analysis of these cooperative efforts can provide insights into the effectiveness of ASEAN as a cohesive security entity, the challenges it faces in terms of unity and resource pooling, and the potential for increased collaboration with external partners such as the United States to enhance regional defense capabilities. These 4 points encapsulate the core dynamics shaping the maritime security landscape in Southeast Asia, offering a comprehensive framework for in-depth analysis and discussion on the implications of China's naval influence on regional defense strategies and cooperation among ASEAN member states. 1. The Cold War naval arms race. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union engaged in a significant naval arms race which included the development and expansion of aircraft carriers and submarine fleets. This competition led to the proliferation of advanced naval technology and defense contracts as both superpowers sought to assert their dominance on the world's oceans. Countries aligned with either the US or the Soviet Union often felt pressured to enhance their own naval capabilities, resulting in a global increase in maritime military spending and strategic alliances. 2. The Gulf War and its aftermath. The Gulf War 1990 to 1991 highlighted the importance of naval power in modern warfare, particularly the role of aircraft carriers in power projection and maritime security. The US-led coalition's naval operations demonstrated the effectiveness of carrier strike groups in achieving strategic objectives. In the aftermath, many Gulf states, recognizing the need for enhanced maritime security, increased their defense spending and sought to procure advanced naval assets, often through partnerships with Western defense contractors. This shift influenced regional security dynamics and procurement strategies among Middle Eastern nations. 3. The rise of Japan's maritime self-defense force. Post-World War II, Japan's constitution imposed restrictions on its military capabilities, but rising regional tensions, particularly with North Korea and China, prompted Japan to enhance its maritime security. The establishment of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force (JMSDF) and subsequent increase in defense budgets led to significant naval modernization efforts. This included the acquisition of advanced destroyers and submarines, as well as participation in joint exercises with the US and other allies. Japan's naval expansion has had a ripple effect on regional security dynamics, prompting neighboring countries to reassess their own naval capabilities and defense strategies. The future of the regional maritime security industry in Southeast Asia presents a complex landscape marked by significant growth and evolving geopolitical dynamics. With a projected 30% increase by 2027, various factors, particularly China's naval expansion, are reshaping the defense strategies and procurement approaches of ASEAN member states. Here are some key predictions and considerations for the future outlook of this sector. 1. Increased defense spending and procurement. As regional tensions escalate, ASEAN nations will likely continue boosting their defense budgets to modernize and expand their naval capabilities. Countries such as Vietnam, the Philippines, and Indonesia are expected to prioritize investments in advanced naval technologies, including submarine surface vessels and surveillance systems. This trend will also spur competition among defense contractors, both regional and international, as they vie for lucrative contracts. 2. Strengthening alliances and partnerships. The growing presence of China's naval forces is prompting ASEAN member states to seek closer defense ties with external powers, particularly the United States, Japan, and Australia. We can anticipate the formation of more formalized military alliances and partnerships focused on collective security measures. This may include joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and collaborative defense projects aimed at enhancing deterrence capabilities against potential threats from China. 3. Emergence of regional security frameworks. In response to the shifting security landscape, ASEAN countries will likely work towards establishing more cohesive regional security frameworks that facilitate cooperation among member states. Initiatives such as ASEAN-led naval exercises and multilateral dialogues will become increasingly important, fostering a unified approach to maritime security challenges. These frameworks could also enhance interoperability among ASEAN naval forces, improving their collective response to crises. 4. Focus on indigenous defense capabilities. To reduce dependence on external defense suppliers, ASEAN nations may start prioritizing the development of indigenous defense industries. Countries like Indonesia and the Philippines are already exploring options to build domestic naval capabilities, which could lead to the establishment of local defense firms and technological innovation. This shift may not only enhance national security but also stimulate economic growth and job creation in the defense sector. 5. Technological advancements in maritime security. The maritime security industry will likely see significant technological advancements driven by the need for enhanced surveillance, reconnaissance, and combat capabilities. The adoption of unmanned systems, cyber defense technologies, and advanced sensor technologies will be crucial in countering maritime threats. As ASEAN states enhance their technological capacities, they will increasingly invest in research and development collaborations both within the region and with established defense powers. 6. Geopolitical tensions and diplomatic maneuvering. The geopolitical landscape in Southeast Asia will continue to be influenced by the actions of major powers, particularly the United States and China. Rising tensions in the South China Sea and broader Indo-Pacific region may lead to increased diplomatic maneuvering among ASEAN nations as they navigate their relationships with these powers. ASEAN states will need to balance their security partnerships while also promoting regional stability and avoiding overt polarization. 7. Environmental and economic considerations. As maritime security investments grow, there will be a need to balance military spending with economic development and environmental sustainability. ASEAN countries may increasingly integrate maritime security policies with broader economic and environmental strategies, recognizing the interconnectedness of these issues. This could lead to initiatives that promote sustainable practices in maritime operations while ensuring robust security measures. 8. Public perception and domestic politics. The maritime security landscape will also be shaped by domestic political considerations. Public perception of defense spending, national security threats, and foreign partnerships will influence policymakers in ASEAN countries. As regional tensions rise, governments may face pressure to take decisive actions to enhance security, which could impact their political standing and electoral prospects. Conclusion. In summary, the future of the regional maritime security industry in Southeast Asia is poised for substantial growth, influenced by various geopolitical, technological, and economic factors. The increasing presence of China's carrier group will continue to drive ASEAN member states to enhance their naval capabilities, forge stronger alliances, and develop indigenous defense industries. As these dynamics unfold, the region will navigate a complex security environment that demands cooperation, innovation, and a balanced approach to defense and development. The next few years will be critical in shaping the maritime security landscape, with implications for regional stability and international relations.